Welcome back. We are here for Apocalypse Keys, Bonds of Power, Episode 6. So, previously on, a lot happened last time. So much good stuff. But I would like to hear what the players remember happening to their characters or with their characters last time, and then we will commence from there. We are currently in the Madelancholy murders mystery for Apocalypse Keys. They have uncovered 3 keys out of a complexity 6. So, you know, we'll see what we get up to for this particular session. All right. So if anybody remembers what happened to them last time, that would be fabulous. And if not, I'll fill in some blanks.
Uh, I remember that Zero and Petri went investigating a chapel that had a bit of a hedge maze in it. And at one point, Zero tried to inquire with the dreams of the flowers or the ivy if it had seen anything with regards to the murder, and he got a little overwhelmed by what he saw, and Petri freed him from that overwhelm paralysis by kind of meshing him with an alternate version of himself. And now he has a hand that is not his own. And he stalked off.
Yeah, it was fucked up. We also saw a bird or some kind of creature.
Was it
That
a
was the
bird?
stinger, right?
It was,
Oh,
well,
that's right.
wings in the sky was the vision that everybody saw, but the stinger was getting the impression of moth wings and a figure in hooded robes approach somebody in the alley.
I believe Wisp and Vivi went up to the rooftop of the apartments, where Sister Teresa has a garden. She's working on some project. But more importantly, we met a sort of, I suppose, a custodian of either the gardens or the apartment building itself. And Wisp also confronted Vivi about why they're acting so weird, and she was told that it's because they used to be kind of a thing, but she doesn't have any memory of it anymore.
And also, technically speaking, they never they didn't it didn't used to be it just never happened.
It happened, but then we rolled back the timeline and it didn't happen. And Vivi has been being painfully awkward about it the entire time.
Not anymore, though. Now you've got more worse things to be painfully awkward about.
Feelings. How do we handle feelings?
Okay.
Oh, I think Wisp also kind of freaked out because she's like overwhelmed by all these big emotions, and decided that like keeping secrets is just bad. Like everyone should just know everything. So, I think she's in the middle of trying to alert all of the residents of the apartments that like there's a murder on the loose. You should figure out how to protect yourselves.
And that was so attractive.
Okay. So, taking it from there, I think, as I said, while the stinger was happening, then Wisp is out in the open, talking with any of the apartment denizens that were out in the commune. Once they got over a little bit of the fear of this imposing 8-foot fey woman, coming up to them and telling them scoop. some of them are nodding their heads, and it's like, just starting to look fearful, but yet also outraged that this was going to be hidden from them. Dropping from the sky, yelling, yep, absolutely. And I think coming out of the apartment, in the middle of your spilling the beans, as it were, I think you see this older woman. She's dressed in like traditional, or I should say like more traditional garb, kind of like robes looking. It's like Magindanan robes, and she has eyes that look like cold steel in the dark, basically. And she's shooting those eyes at you with an incredible dagger-like stare, Wisp. You don't think she's imposing because she's much, much shorter than you, and she's also got a bit of a hump. However, that stare is pretty arresting for everybody else. And even though her voice comes through very soft-spoken, it is quite cutting. It will pierce through some crowd noise and even your resonant tones. And she just kind of stamps a cane that she's holding 3 times to get everybody else's attention. And they all turn towards her. And she's still looking at you. You have your ways, and we have ours. I would not tell you how to attend to your work, no matter how much it pains me to see you so determined to fail. No matter. At least, Division didn't send human agents. There's enough time for you to change my mind and impress this humble old shaman. I am Elder Adoha. Who are you to be coming here and, well, disturbing the peace? We were going to say something, but we wanted to see if you could solve before making everybody worried, before making everybody panicked. We don't need panic. We need to solve who is doing this.
Elder Udurha,
Yes.
if your way is to leave people defenseless, then I don't think I have to impress you at all.
We are not defenseless. Not
Murder, yes, is a big problem. But look around, and she sort of gestures her long arms toward the cracks in the concrete, the sort of disheveled state of the apartment complex. These people have many more problems than that. And no one is solving them. Not even Division.
Do you know what it's like to have to fight, to get every scrap, every little thing looked at, to try and improve the way of life? For simple services, to fix things, you have to go and fill out papers, fill out forms, and wait your turn until your turn comes, whenever that is.
For people like these, the turn never comes, that's the point.
We do our best, but we still depend on blending in. I would like to live away from all this, but this modern world does not allow it. We need to still find peace with the humans. We still need to make our way and still need to have our place in this society. And society doesn't seem to want to help.
Exactly. And I think Wisp turns back to the others here gathered, and we see her eyes sort of flare with power again. She's I don't really know what her emotional activate or manipulation powers look like, visually necessarily.
Mm.
But like there's like a heat, like an intensity, like wafting off of her in waves. And she says, that is why the only way to get what you want, what you need, is to fight. Use your anger.
She starts to laugh, and her steely eyes are even more glinty. I don't know what else to use. And she kind of smiles and says, "Oh, a warrior then. Would you choose to help so much that you would give up your power to keep the peace? Would you do that?"
No. Because peace does not bring change.
It does. It brings peace for a time. And depending on how much time you have, sometimes it is enough. I know. She actually like hobbles over and will put her little brown hand on your arm. And you feel the strength of her hand, even though it looks withered and old. I know. I gave up power many millennia ago to keep at least some peace. I fought a human warlord to do that, but I gave up so much to have that time for peace.
Well, then that was your mistake. And can I unleash the dark on the group of people that are gathered here to
Sure. So let's see. Hold on. I think I want to say force your will on someone. I want to say that this would be probably more appropriate for power through darkness, because you're not just trying to affect one person, which that's what it sounds like Unleash the Dark is. You're actually trying to influence a crowd. So
Yeah, sure.
yeah. So power through darkness, spend darkness tokens and roll. Pushing the limits of your supernatural powers, straining to the extraordinary, or averting imminent danger. Yep.
Cool. And to be clear, for like what Wisp wants out of the scene is she wants to just like spur these people into like action to like improve their circumstances, whatever that means to them. It could mean something very bad, who knows. I'm gonna spend 3 darkness tokens because I have 9. I need to get rid of some of them.
Yes.
So
And
that's still above 5.
oh, I know.
She wants to be torn between.
It's a 9 on the dice.
Okay. Sweet spot. On an 8 to 10, you use your powers with great precision and effect, changing the situation before you. Additionally, the keeper may offer you a reprieve, a golden opportunity, or a bond with someone. So, tell me how you're changing the situation, like what people are doing in response to your rallying words. And I give you the choice. What do you want? Do you want an opportunity to find a key? Do you want a bond with Elder Adura? Do you want what else, what else do you want
Mm,
through this
I
situation?
I don't think Wisp would feel particularly bonded with Elder Durha, based on their conversation. Key would be great, sure.
Okay, cool. All right. So tell me what changes with the crowd that you've gathered around you.
I think there's a hush that goes through the crowd, and then a sort of roiling murmur, um people like venting frustrations that they've had for years and years, but had sort of learned to push into the corners of their mind because nothing comes of the paperwork, nothing comes from registering uh your problems, your complaints, your daily pains. um and I think they find new power now in their own conviction and their own body and their own agency. um and I think there's maybe one group that kind of stalks into the apartment complex, perhaps to like plan to like strategize to figure out like what they can do. And there's another half that um I think they kind of begin rioting a little bit. They just start like, I don't know what kind of stuff is in the commune, I don't know how we described it, but they just start like tearing shit down.
Got it. And I think it's their yeah, I mean, like they would have concerts here, like for the apartment building, or like places to gather. But I think as they're spreading out and doing this sort of thing, and like some people are leaving and some people are, as you say, like tearing some things down. I think you notice that there's graffiti on one wall, and it didn't seem to be there before. But now that the crowd is parted and you're able to kind of just like look around and then see like the results of your work, you see graffiti on the wall that looks very new, and it says, it announces something about both redemption, like rising, like being saved, or saving oneself, and then punishment, as if there will be consequences for going through with an action. But that is your uncovered key. Graffiti on the wall, announcing both redemption and punishment. Okay? What is everybody else doing? So Vivi was up on the rooftop still. Zero was leaving the
Chapel.
Yep. And then Petri, I imagine you're still in the chapel watching Zero's retreating back.
Sure.
At this point, but I mean,
I mean, we still have
think
to like investigate in there, don't we?
yeah, you tried, but yeah, you kind of got diverted. So
Some
yeah,
stuff happened. It
some
happens.
stuff happened. Sure, absolutely. So Petri, if you want to go ahead and grasp some keys here, fine. I mean, I think Zero, as you're stalking out of the chapel, I think you see some of the remaining people, like from the commotion outside, where like Wisp had jumped down, superhero landed, and then started trying to rally everyone. So you're kind of like seeing the beginnings of the dispersion from that. So, yeah.
I think seeing that, Zero is going to try and get out of there before he gets caught up in it, keeping his new hand shoved deep in the pocket of his coat or sweater, as weather appropriate. And he's going to make for are any of the bottom half bodies still in place, or have all the bodies been collected?
No, you're saying like the victims?
Yes.
Yeah, I think they've kind of laid them to rest after they found the top halves, the bits from the top halves. So yeah, they've been laid to rest. But you're welcome to go talk to some of the people that knew the victims, and there's been word. I mean, maybe you're hearing this as you're going through the crowd or what have you. You're hearing like some of them talk about, yeah, she's totally right. We have to get things fixed up on our own. We can't wait for people to help us. We need to help ourselves and do it our way. And then like somebody mentions back, it's like, but what about that abandoned apartment upstairs? It's like, no, we can't touch that. That we leave that alone. It's cursed.
Zero's going to lean in and say, which apartment?
Oh, I'm sorry. You are with her, and they point to Wisp, who's still in the commune.
More or less.
Did we in the face of these murders, we can only do so much, but we're going to fix up our places. We're going to fix up our place. But yeah, there's an apartment here. No one has been there for decades. It just stays empty.
Because it's cursed?
That's what we say. That's what we know. But no one will move in.
What number is it?
Oh, what is it? What is it, Jose? It's funny, yeah. you try not to think about something, and then you don't remember exactly what it is. You just know where it is, yeah. And they tell you about an apartment that's up on the 5th floor, in the back. So whatever number that is, but I mean, like, they give you decent directions to get over there. But yeah, it's a 5th floor apartment in this tenement.
Zero will turn and start making for the stairs.
Okay. Vivi and Petri, what are you guys doing?
I think Vivi has been watched Wisp's speech from the top of the building and wants to go and talk to the elder, and also kind of, I mean, Wisp doesn't need backup per se, but the elder clearly disagreed, and so Vivi's going to try to take a different tack with the elder.
Sure.
I do have a quick question, Elle. How old is Wisp?
Oh, that's a great question. I have no idea. Probably the Fae equivalent of being in her mid-20s. So, couple hundred years, but only maybe a few decades in our world.
Thanks.
I mean, if we want to talk about timey-wimey dimensional bullshit, like, I'm all for it, so.
I'm just trying to decide whether I can go, the youths as Vivi.
I mean,
the
yeah.
short answer is that when age means as little as it does for all of us,
Yeah.
being a
pretty
child
much.
has little to do with age.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
By all means, call someone older than you a child.
Child for their species. Who knows? I mean, like, okay. So,
So rather than jumping off the roof and landing dramatically like Wisp did,
uh-huh.
I think Vivi will just calmly step out over the edge and place a hand on the wall and just very slowly slide down as if gravity is much slower. And just delicately step onto the ground. And with all the people, running around and being energized and doing things, and Vivi is just sort of calmly stepping between them, and it's almost like a dance. Like no one actually ever touches Vivi. They are just always, just a little bit to the left, or they move out of where someone comes running through a moment before they do, and before long they are in front of the elder.
So basically, you're between time.
Just Vivi is very good at patterns.
Yes. Okay. Nice.
Vivi will stand beside the elder rather than facing her. Say, the youth. Such energy.
Yes, yes, yes. And then that's when she turns to you and says, "Oh, you want to talk? You look rather young yourself. Or am I speaking to someone who appears much younger than they are?"
I stopped counting some time ago.
Oh, if it was only a matter of counting. Ugh. And as she laughs, she kind of like rubs her back a little bit, feeling her age. You helping her with this case? Yes.
I do try to do that. It is not how I would have approached it. However, I do understand the urge, and I can't say for sure that she is wrong.
Yes. The youth. Yes.
Youth. It is. It is sometimes easier to be cautious, but my people, well, it is possible to be too cautious and to not act until it is too late. And I would not say that that is what's happening here, but as someone with perhaps some less tempestuous perspective, I do have some concerns that I share with my colleague. Yes, that's the correct word. I would not want to see your community, your people, fail to act until it is too late, out of fear, out of being unsure of the right path.
It's not a matter of being unsure if it's the right path. It's of being uncertain of what is even causing the path to be built. She seems to appreciate action, as I did when I was young. It is as I told her. I gave up much to quell a warlord I knew many, many years ago. But, again, the young know best. It has been this way for as time has begun, I'm sure. For your people and for mine. Would you like to go and come and have a drink with me?
Yes, let us leave the young to their energy, and I am certain that whatever trade you made, whatever you lost in action, you no doubt gained in perception. And there are certainly things that I am sure you would know about this mystery that the youth may not.
And with one last look at Wisp, she turns to you with this really kind of like feral grin and says, I didn't tell her what power I gave up. It would be interesting to see how she fights. Petri, what are you doing in the chapel, if anything?
Well, I've never let my compatriots' mistakes stop me before. Let's see what this ivy has to say.
Oh dear.
I know quite a bit about growing things and the way that they branch and split.
True. Okay, would you like to roll at this point?
And of course, first a gardener. Let's see how many tokens I spent. I have 4. Let's spend 2.
Okay.
Boosting me up to an 8.
Okay. And this is grasping keys.
Yep.
Okie doke. I'll just make sure that there's nothing else I need to add.
8 to 11 is the sweet spot, right?
Correct. 8 to 10.
8 to
Uncover a
10.
key, and I will tell you what that is. All right, so you're observing the ivy, or you're talking to the ivy? What are you doing?
I am. I think I'm tapping into the knowledge of the collective is what I'm doing.
Okay.
Focused
Fair.
on the ivy.
Fair.
A lot of things might have just happened, and I think a few more of them would have let us learn a lot more.
Right. All right, I think as you're tapping into the collective of the ivy and anything else that grows near it or around it, I think you will get a vision of an old set of rusty keys, each inscribed in Babain, an ancient writing system once used in the Philippines. You can't quite tell what the Babain is saying, but you just know that this is one of the languages that has existed here since their writing began. And the keys aren't necessarily on one ring. They are almost like, set in a line, like as if somebody's observing, any possible patterns or like, trying to form sentences or phrases with them. But yeah, I mean, like they are an old set of rusty keys inscribed in Babain. And I owe you and Wisp something for the... Actually, hold on. I don't think it works that way, but let me just double check myself. Okay. Grasp keys. Okay, no, that's still a sweet spot. Never mind. Just trying not to get it confused with, like, regular PBTA 7 to 9s. Okay. But I will say that as you're seeing this vision through the ivy, I think you will have somebody come upon you in this space. Yeah, I mean, coming in here is you're communing with the ivy, and then you hear, "Looking good, champ. I'll follow along. Take some notes. Get you heroes on video. Nice wings."
Who? What? Hello.
You see behind you, when you wake out of your vision, you see a human. He's got some social media curated casual looks, like he's in like baggy cargo shorts and like a loose shirt. He looks very painfully sunburned and doesn't understand personal space. He's like practically right at the edge of your peripheral vision, like coming upon you, and like you see in his hand, he's got like his, not only his phone, but he's got a GoPro, and a big backpack on his back. Yeah, Franklin Wolf, kind of following along and just like, seeing what I can see. But I've heard rumors about you guys. Do you eat human food? Where are you really from? I mean, I really think it's important that your story gets told, and I'm the person to do it. I mean, I'm here. I mean, I'm like traveling around and like kind of caught like, what was going on out there. Was that your friend out there? Like, like freaking 10 feet tall and like, like getting the people rallied and stuff. I mean, like, she's amazing. True.
Okay, in order. Yes, I eat human food. What other kind of food is there? No. And I'd like to think we're friends, but I think she would call us colleagues.
Okay. So, where are you really from, and like, what are you guys doing here? I mean, like, are you checking something out? Like, is something juicy going on?
Oh. Hmm. Well, I'm from Modesto originally. I can't say where any. I can't really say for anyone else. I don't think any of them are from anywhere really, and I can't say where I am. I just sort of got in a plane and now I'm in a location.
Me too, but I mean, I've been here for I don't even remember anymore. It's like, just kind of backpacking around and hitchhiking. Do you mind if I like kind of tag along? I mean, you know, I'll stay in the back. I mean, like all I gotta do is like, point my GoPro, what you guys doing, So, I mean, try to stay out of your way,
I have no objections to this,
Cool.
but I can't speak for any of my compatriots. They tend to be a bit more sensitive about these things, although one of them did just fall 40 feet, so it's really hard to say where they stand.
I mean, like, if anything, I'll be standing like way back because I gotta get her in the frame, and like, ooh, that's a lot to, ooh, so good. Anyway, so yeah, like, yeah, I'll ask for permission to post and stuff like that, but I mean, like, this is gold. I mean, like, I can just record all day. Well, maybe I have to stop to charge, but I mean, this is awesome. And yeah. You now have Franklin Wolf tagging along, or at least he's going to try.
Franklin,
Right. Yes.
is this your first time meeting some like us?
Oh. Well, I mean, kind of. I mean, I've heard of you guys. I mean, like, I've always known, like, like monsters exist and such. I mean, like, but I'm like all about the road less traveled, right? I mean, like seeing all this change that needs to happen, and just wanting to be at one of the centers of action and stuff. But I didn't expect that I was gonna get to meet you guys. Oh my gosh, this is amazing.
When you say you guys, who do you mean?
You and your colleagues, friends, whatever. I mean, you, the monsters, right? I mean, like, you're like here to help save the world. I mean, it's like, is there something going on? Like, is there like a big caldera around here, or is there like a big supernatural threat?
No, this one's pretty small time, if I'm being honest.
Oh,
Could be much worse.
uh, okay, all right. Um, I think. Well, I'm just gonna record and let me get like let me get your permission and stuff. Do you mind signing this consent form? And he pulls out a really raggedy piece of paper with a whole bunch
I
of.
think when it touches Petri's hand, it just sort of crumples.
Okay. Can you sign regular documents? I mean, what I can do is I can actually record you, like record your permission. That counts, right? Too, right? Yeah.
You can certainly try.
Okay. And he'll aim the camera at you, but then it looks like he's having trouble trying to get it to focus and such. And we're gonna head over to Zero. Zero, you make your way through the apartments up the stairs. Um, and this apartment building again, it's like it's not so bad, but I mean, again, it's older, it's a bit run down. Like some things don't look like they've been maintained as well as they could be, of course, but the best that they could do at this point has been done. And it's just showing its age. And you make your way up to the fifth floor. I think you can immediately tell between the apartments that are definitely been occupied or are being occupied versus the one that has been abandoned. How can you tell?
I think there's just clearly no effort put into the upkeep of the entry or the door area. There's no one has ever made a strong effort to vacuum this particular part of the hall. The door is grimy, and clearly the handle or the doorknob has not been turned in quite some time.
Do you approach and try to open the door?
Yes.
I'm going to say with a little bit of like working, because again, it hasn't been opened in decades. I think you do manage to get the door open, like turning the knob and getting it to open. And this is a paint the scene for everyone. So this is one apartment that has remained empty for decades. No one will move in. What here makes your skin crawl but invites you to come closer?
There is a brutal and violent war between a wasp hive in the top right corner of the sort of main room and ants living in the walls coming out of the bottom left corner.
When you step into the apartment, the difference in pressure between the hall and the apartment makes a sort of breeze that almost feels a little too warm, almost like an inhalation. And even as you notice that, you can't help but feel pulled forward a bit.
I think one of the walls as you enter the apartment has almost a fractal of wallpapers where they are sloughing off of the wall, and you can see the first color, and below it is a second one, and below that one's a third one. You can make it a corner of the fourth one, but isn't there a fifth one back there? What are all these designs?
And I think despite that the apartment is allegedly abandoned, in the living area there is a single black candle lit, sort of the flame wavering in the breeze. It smells like meat cooking as it burns down, like the rendering of fat, but the flame itself is so beautiful. It's red gold that's inviting.
All right, so these are the things that you see here, Zero. What would you like to do in this apartment?
Well, there's got to be some reason no one stays here beyond or no one wants to move in here beyond the ants and the wasps. So I think start out with just a basic grasp for keys and see what can be seen.
Certainly. You want to go ahead and say what you are using, like just kind of wandering around? Are you using a power? A power, or are you, um, yeah, observing? And then use however many darkness tokens you'd like, and then roll.
I think just for starters, as a just to go easy at first, I'll just use eyes and nose and ears.
Okay.
And I will spend
Dreams.
Yeah, no, that might be coming, but let's ease in. 2 tokens? Yes, 2.
Okay.
And it's a 6.
Well, okay then. Let's see. On a 6. You find more than you are ready for. You may choose to mark ruin to uncover a key, but in doing so, the keeper will reveal how you come closer to becoming a harbinger. Fun. Okay. So if you go with this 6, and remember that 8 to 10 is the sweet spot for getting a key and no extra consequences per se. If you do this, I think the doomsday clock will tick forward. And so that'll bring it up to 3. And what you will find here with your eyes and senses, you will be assailed with some amazingly horrible smell. A smell of death. And then before you, where you had initially seen the candle on the table burning brightly and invitingly, then once your vision clears after that like almost wall-like smell, you see someone before you. Let me get a description. She looks like she was a manananggal, for sure, because it is someone with a displaced top half from the bottom half. Like, you can see the bottom half, like, solidly there, but then their top half is a bit displaced and looking like they have scars running through the top half. And she's looking at you with almost milky eyes. And she clutches at you, saying, "It's so dark there." And again, the milky white eyes are staring at you, no pupils. "It's so dark there. Can you imagine being torn apart and put back together and torn apart again and brought back? I can't see you, but I smell you." And each word that she has keeps drawing you in or draws her forward towards you when she's practically on top of you. And at her last words, "I can taste you." And she'll attack. And that's what you get for your 6. Or
Yeah, I think I would like to ask the keeper to reveal how I come closer to becoming a harbinger as I mark ruin.
awesome. Cool. All right. So do you want to do anything in this respect? Because like I said, she's coming after you and she's basically going to try to bite down.
I think Zero is going to look at her and not flinch, not back away,
Mhm.
but he's going to pull up his shirt, revealing the network of scars and crisscrossing old wounds. And he'll say, "I can imagine it."
That's upon seeing this, I think that she will smile, and it's a broken smile, where it seems to split part of her face as she's doing so. And I think she will take a bite. And in that bite, I think you will share her dream slash nightmare slash vision, where it seems like your scars are melding into hers and vice versa. And in this, you become one with her. You are taking upon her aspect in this dream and becoming more of that particular dream of her. And then you see in your mind's eye, you see yourselves entwined together in the scars, turning into some kind of ancient and sacred Mananagal relic. It has been defaced because of this twisted combination of you two, and it is definitely broken. You can see the seams, you can see the cracks, and this is how it appears in your vision as she's biting down and then almost trying to merge with you. And I think we see the camera will see this relic, and your face almost rises around you and her in some kind of like double vision. And we see your face. Tell me what you look like when you feel yourself becoming more than Zero. You are becoming an aspect. You are a concept. You are a dream. Or a nightmare. Tell me what this looks like.
I think it's his face, but completely relaxed. Its lids closed a little loosely, and you can't tell if the visage is sleeping or dead. And that it's an embodiment of that terrifying moment where you see someone you love so still and you don't know.
And that is your ancient and sacred Madelancholy relic, defaced and broken. You see this vision of yourself, or more than yourself, and I think you're coming out of this, but realizing you're not dying. You are experiencing pain, though. You are being bitten. And it's like, after the initial euphoria of this vision coming upon you, I think now pain, starts to come in waves. And I'm sorry, but I'm going to leave you and go over to Wisp. Wisp, what are you doing on the street after you rally everybody?
I think firstly she takes a moment to sort of watch what she has wrought here. Um, these people's anger and energy, and she feels this tension between helping or what she feels is helpful and doing her job, although she's told they are one and the same. And I think in this moment she has to like take a deep breath and like unclench her fists and like make a conscious choice to focus on the task that she has been told to come here to do.
What did you
Um,
think of the graffiti that you saw? Saying that you have to save ourselves, but then there are consequences for doing so. Does that mean anything to Wisp?
I think when she sees it, like she barely even registers it as something strange.
Mm-hmm.
Like fictionally, perhaps it doesn't even become a clue until she like tells one of the other PCs, off screen. Because like to her, it's just like, well, of course there are consequences. But that doesn't mean that it's not worth pursuing.
Hmm.
Um, but I think yeah, she's torn between, and I think she's gonna like choose to do what Division has instructed her to do here. So I'm gonna lose all of my darkness tokens for conforming to the pressures of humanity. And I think she'll go. Where exactly is? I know Petri's with Franklin right now. Where exactly are they, like location wise?
Oh, they're in the chapel.
They're
The
still in the
chapel's not that
chapel.
far away. Yeah.
Yeah, I think then that makes sense that she would go to the chapel. She knows that that's an important place, and that Zero and Petri went there.
I think through the window, I think Franklin's like kind of like now, kind of smacking your arm or whatever, Petri, because he's like, she's coming this way, she's coming this way. Oh my god, I gotta get. Oh, what should I? Oh, I'm a professional. I can do this. I'd be like, just ask her some questions, right? I mean, she's just like you, like pretty personable, yeah. She's just really, really tall. Wow.
Hi, Wisp. You've been busy.
Camera goes up. Wow.
Petri, who's this?
This is Franklin. He's sweet on you and also obsessed
Huh?
with monsters for some reason.
What? I didn't say I was sweet on her. I mean, she's just wow. And like the camera's like right here. He's not even looking at it, looking through it. He's just like trying to record what he can. You're
Wes gets like real close to the camera, like looking into the lens as though that's gonna like tell her anything about this uh whatever he's filming. She doesn't really get how cameras work.
Yeah. She eats
Um,
cigarettes, of course not.
and she'll like
Is there
hold
a
out.
tiny painter in there?
Yeah, right. Who is making the image? Like, how does it happen?
Right.
We made a lot of sand very angry.
They've imprisoned a tiny sprite.
She holds out a clawed hand. Um, can I see it?
What? Oh, this? Uh, I, mm, it's like $2,000. I mean, sure. Okay, just please be careful with it. I mean, like, aside from my phone, it's my only camera.
She immediately crushes it.
Uh, 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 uh,
Don't worry, I can help with that.
you can? I mean, what? Is it?
Sure, it's just a bunch of rocks.
What?
I
I
guess some plastics,
I-
whatever
Yeah.
those are.
We cannot make angry glass paintings with murder investigation happening, Petri.
murder.
I
There's
thought you
there's
might
been a
say
murder. Oh, jeez. Oh man. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I can't film in like anything having to do with a murder investigation and stuff.
Well, I don't think you are in danger. Not special enough.
Okay, thanks for that. Do you have bosses that I can, oh, I don't know, bill my camera? I mean, kind of get reimbursed and stuff. 'Cause, yeah, that was real expensive.
Just bring it to Vivi. We will rewind it for you.
Vivi's like having a drink convo right now with the elders, so
I
he's
know.
not there to offer.
Would
But
you like my help?
can you put it back together, or like make it work whole again? I mean, it's looking pretty bad, man. I mean,
I will make something out of it. It might
What?
even record images, but it will certainly be some form of camera.
yeah, but I mean, the warranty, I can't. Oh my god. Active Monster isn't covered under the warranty, so I just. Okay. I mean,
Well, then I suppose there's nothing to be done.
okay. Okay, alright.
Now,
Why are
Wisp,
you
tell me
here?
about this mob that you've just started. They don't seem particularly angry.
He
You
backs
do,
away.
but they don't.
It is not my decision what they do with their knowledge. I thought they should know what's going on.
Now, normally I would approve of this sort of thing, but do you really think that's safe?
Do you think it's safe for them to roam the streets at night with no...
Of course not, but it wasn't bothering them before. They were living their quaint little interesting lives. Now you've gone and ruined it with your magic or whatever it is.
I don't think these people's lives can get much worse. This isn't my first time here, and nothing ever gets any better, so someone should do something. You don't think?
You really think no one is doing anything?
I think if they are, they're not doing enough. I'm not sure we're doing enough.
Well, certainly not, but that's sort of by design, isn't it?
Wisp sort of cocks her head to the side. Um, and like will reposition herself so that like Franklin, if he's nearby, like can't like read what she and Petri are saying to each other.
Ah,
Petri, do you have doubts about the vision?
You're not the first person to ask me this. And I don't really much care what they're after. They can't hurt me and they keep me safe. I'm surprised you don't feel the same.
But is yourself the only thing you care about?
Of course not. What kind of question is that? But for
It's
every world where they tear apart something I love, there's one they didn't. And I'm letting that be enough for me.
I don't know if you should. Maybe it's not that in one world they do, and in one world they don't. Maybe it's in one world they already have, and in one world it's just around the corner. They just haven't done it yet.
I think you're projecting, Wisp.
I don't know what that means.
It means that you're secretly, deep down, afraid that you might hurt the people you love. And you're looking at the world around you, finding the biggest, scariest thing, saying that that might feel that it's big and scary just like me. It must feel that way too. We all do it.
I just. Everyone is telling me that I shouldn't be fighting. But I don't see what's wrong with taking whatever power you have and using it as much as you can to do whatever you can.
If I may be so bold, Wisp, the problem is not the power. The problem is that you lack imagination.
No, that's not true. I'm the only
You,
one imagining something better.
yes, but anyone can look at a light in the distance. The only way you can think of carving a path there is with fire. There are many, many ways to affect change in the world. Some completely invisible until they've already come to pass. These, excuse me, are no less valid than any other path. But you're not willing to explore them.
I think her eyes burn bright again. And she looks like, for the first time, maybe afraid. Um, it's sort of a foreign expression on her face. And she says, "The fire is the only thing I have. It's the only thing I know how to use." Can I reveal my heart here? Or roll to reveal
Sure.
my heart, I guess? I think she's
It
already kind
seems
of
like a
doing
good
that.
time.
yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I have a special move for this, I think. Hold on.
Oh, okay, great.
I have a
Wahoo.
ruin move that I got.
Nice.
Okay. When you would reveal your heart to a PC or NPC who may become a harbinger, you may instead choose to describe why you're destined to become a harbinger and how this makes you afraid. Which I think I kind of did.
Yeah.
If you do, mark one ruin, and the harbinger within you stirs and reaches out to the other person, bringing your hearts far closer than any confession ever could. And I get to choose. Oh, I think for this I don't even roll.
Oh, okay, great.
Oh,
This
neat.
is
Yeah,
You just mark
instead
a
of
ruin.
revealing.
You just mark a ruin.
It
Yeah,
costs a
yeah, yeah.
ruin.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
Cool.
Bring your hearts far closer. Choose 2 of those. And then the harbinger within you resonates with the harbinger within them. If
Wahoo,
you
you get to taste the infinite.
No. If you decide to mark one ruin, Petri, then you can choose one of those things on
Let me
Wisp's
just do
sheet.
that.
I think the first thing I'll choose is to reveal a painful shared memory. And
Oh
we
yeah,
both mark XP.
nice.
If it's okay with you, Chris, I think so in our starting bonds, I think we established that oh yeah, I wrote it down. Petri thinks that Wisp is like extremely simple in her outlook and that like Petri can't imagine like a greater purpose for her. I wonder if Petri like said that to her face once.
I think I
And
just did. Like just now.
that's true. But I think you might have used the words like I can't imagine like what your greater purpose is. And of course Wisp at the time would have pretended like that's fine and who cares. But I think now she like echoes those words back to you and she says like even you once told me that you cannot imagine a greater purpose for me. If that's true of you and your infinite sight, then how can I?
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
So you get an XP for
Yeah.
hurting my feelings.
Yay.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
like right. God.
Let me just mark
jeez.
that and make sure I have ruin. These options are so good. I'm
Oh, and what was your
gonna
other?
need a second.
Yeah. Well, what she's still got another one. So, what was the other choice that you wanted to make, Wisp, from the list?
I think I'll promise to always protect the other, even if they become a harbinger.
I don't think I have any conditions.
Oh, you don't?
Where are those?
Let's
Starting around row 43.
Oh, you
On
do
the
have the
far
condition
left.
visionary, it looks like. They're like
When
all the
did
way
I
down.
take?
Yeah.
When did I take that? I might have cleared that already. I think I got that in like the first session.
Okay. Well, I mean, like you can take it out
Well, I'll
now.
clear it now.
Yeah. So, that sounds good. But yeah,
Wow,
you.
they're all the way down there. Do you have any marked? Because I can also. Oh, you have a bunch.
No, I just have Lovelorn, I think. Yeah.
You have 3 marked here. You have Lovelorn. Oh no, that's. I see.
Those are just the ones that I can mark, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, clear condition. All right, great. So, Petri,
How many
if you're
ruin
marking
do
one
you
ruin,
have?
if you want to mark one ruin, you can choose one of those things.
If I can mark one ruin, I could take 3 of your ruin and just become a harbinger right now. That would be fun.
You could.
Whoa. So what? Wait a minute. What what just happened?
So one of the options here is promise to never abandon them. They erase any number of ruin marks you have, transferring those ruin marks to, or I would do, if I'm reading this right, it is transfer any number of ruin marks that Wisp has to Petri's track.
Correct.
So I could erase 3 ruin and move them all to mine, and then mark a ruin, maxing out 5.
Okay, but then that, well,
That would not happen. I find it very funny that it could.
yeah, you
Don't you
don't
just
have to go directly to Harbinger. I'm just saying, you got
Yeah.
other options under the ruin advances. Don't give me that heart attack yet, Chris. Oh my God.
I live for possible worlds, and that
Okay.
is an especially funny one.
Okay, I'm just saying because there's other choices, dude.
I know.
Although
I
that would be
think
funny.
I will reveal a hope I have for you.
Oh,
You get to clear one condition.
Here, I don't have any more conditions to clear, but go for it.
What? Oh, we both do?
Because with the one of the choices I made,
Oh,
I
you
think
was you
we
both
both cleared it. Yeah.
Yes. Then I will do another one.
I mean, if you do transfer the ruin marks, you can get one of those ruin advances. So, if you have a ruin move that you're looking at, then it's a good
Oh, right,
opportunity.
that is a thing. Yeah, honestly, I love that. What are my ruin moves?
So many.
They're
I'm sure.
kind of bad though. I remember the not being in love with these.
Oh, okay.
How many
Oh,
ruin advances do I
uh,
get? How does this work again? How
so
bad is it to max out a ruin track?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's basically 45 points of ruin. Listen, you can take a ruin move from another playbook. You don't have to stick with just yours.
Cool.
Just
Because I've
saying.
really been looking at this playbook, and it doesn't feel super aligned with where I'm going with Petri.
Okay.
I don't
At some
none
point,
of the original ones. We'll talk about this later, but I just
yeah,
wanted to flag that now.
yeah, that's fine.
But yeah,
But I
let's max out my ruin track. Why not?
Okay, so yeah, your ruin track is cleared, Wisp, and then now Petri's got it filled up, and now you can take a ruin advance. If you want to just do a check mark or make some kind of notation to
Yeah,
yourself saying
I'll
you have
mark
to look at the other playbooks for the ruin move. That's fine.
I'll mark the second checkbox for ruin moves and
Yep.
then leave my ruin maxed and hope I remember next week.
Oh, don't worry. I'll make a list saying pick that move. All right.
Let's see.
Okay.
So that means that I am promising never to abandon you.
Mm.
So what is it? What does this feel like? What are you doing to bring our hearts so close together?
I don't know that it's anything that she's doing consciously, but I think there's perhaps, I mean, I don't know if this reads to Petri or if Petri like cares about this sort of thing, but like certainly you're getting a glimpse behind the mask, so to speak. The armor that she's always got around her heart is sort of dropped away for a moment.
And what was the exact fire is all you have? Okay, in that case, I think what this looks like from the outside is that Petri will like just sort of fall forward and embrace you. Be like, don't be ridiculous. You are so much more than your fire. I know. I've read your book. You're worth saving, Wisp. And for just the briefest second, I think you become part of the collective. Like Petri, the human form just completely falters and fragments across time and sort of ceases to exist here. And then it's back.
And Wisp is so overwhelmed and so stunned that she's hardly even angry that you read the book that she asked you not to read. But maybe that's a good place to cut to, to elsewhere.
Yes! Sorry, I was trying to control myself and it wasn't working. God. Okay. Sorry. Vivi. Vivi, you have been brought into Elder Adora's apartment. And it seems to be where it's very cozy, it's very comfy, but in it you see evidence of the warrior that she truly is, even at this advanced age. Paint the scene for everybody. What here indicates, even though it's very cozy, very welcoming to guests, you still see what shows her warrior background.
I'm not sure this is the best example, but it jumped into my head immediately and I cannot get rid of it. Over on a side table or like a hutch, there is a pair of wickedly sharp swords, and they are sitting daintily upon this doily.
This can be paint the scene for everyone. What's seen here to reveal Elder Adorha's warrior background, even in this cozy, welcoming apartment?
The front closet is open just a little bit, and you can see a couple shawls, a raincoat, and just at the back, the glint of chainmail.
As the elder sheds the top layer she was wearing to like get more comfortable as she enters her home, it reveals a tattoo in Babain across her collarbone. That if Vivi were able to read it, they would know that it says "She of Fire and Fury."
All of the all of the everyday use items are extremely delicate, just for either because they're so fine and luxurious, or just from their sheer age. But all of anything with a lock on it is like sturdy hardwood. It is nigh impenetrable.
Nice. Okay. And I think she sits you down, and she is. You seem different. Why are you here? Do you truly work for Division?
And Vivi will sort of take stock of that question. That is a question with many layers. But to address them sequentially, yes, I currently work for a division. We were sent here to assist, such as we are able. Maybe sort of pauses and is used to, I think, the conversation moving on at this point. But if it doesn't, they will fill the silence and say, and here because I am trying to learn from humanity.
Poor thing.
Vivi will sort of smile wryly. Does seem rather ridiculous sometimes.
I don't know if they could be considered role models. They are intolerant of other beings like us. And sometimes, all the time, they are intolerant of each other. I would like to live in peace, away from them and their cruelty, but we just find ourselves having to stay in this society because it seems like there's nowhere to go. But be that as it may, humanity's cruelty has come to us. Whether it be another, our own, that has done this, or something else. I don't know. Just want this to end.
Vivi is surprised and actually quite taken aback by this, and will say, do you truly think there is nothing to redeem them? And they lapse off into silence and they'll get a faraway look. I'm taking 4 darkness tokens for that.
Okay.
Because, oh boy.
Oh boy. Yep. Well, as I said, I will not tell you how to attend to your work. Just want a solution. At least you all understand, because you are not human. I'm just saying they should not be considered on a pedestal. They are not always right.
Is anyone?
That is a question. Now, do you want to talk to her further to grasp a key, or did you want to observe something, or...
I think Vivi's going to do 2 things.
Okay.
They're going to, well, yeah, we're going to grasp keys mechanically here. And
Okay.
Vivi will lean forward a bit and say, well, regardless of any judgments upon humanity, my people faced a crisis, and we did not come together. We did not communicate. We did not look to our strengths as a group before it was too late. And I would give what assistance I can to avoid that happening here to you. And so I came to talk to you, honored elder, as almost certainly you will know where best for us to look.
She will not answer you, but she will go to one of her drawers. And she will pull out what looks like a manila envelope. And when you get it from her, she will hand it to you and say, "This is why I'm concerned about what this means. If it was one of our own. We could handle it. If it was maybe a human, we might be able to handle it. But this, I am concerned about what this means. And she hands you the manila envelope, and she indicates that you should open it. And what the manila envelope has...
To roll?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's like... Sorry. I thought you had rolled.
Oh, no, I'm going to.
Yes, for grasping keys.
Yes. I will spend 2. Oops, I actually need some dice in that roll as well. 11.
Oh, okay then. Alrighty, let's see. On the 11, you uncover a key, but there's a significant complication, cost, or fallout. The keeper will tell you what it is. Okay. So, yes, the key that she hands you is essentially the manila envelope, and when she indicates you should open it, you see a whole bunch of black and white photographs of different Mananagal residents of this place, and that's what she tells you, all taken with a telephoto lens.
Mhm.
Why? Why would they spy on us? Why? What does this mean? Why is this being done to us?
Is this a threat, do you think?
Sorry, I missed that. What?
Sorry, is this a threat, do you think? Or a warning, or simply... Why would one of your own do this?
Exactly. Which is why this seems like something for a file. Something official. And it is concerning. I don't know what this means. I guess Sister Teresa was hoping that you and your companions would be able to know or figure it out what these mean.
Maybe nod and take the envelope and sort of flip through it, and it's just photos of the various residents. There's no...
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. I see how this could cause concern. Does your community have known specific enemies here in this place?
Not that we know of.
Then why warn you? Why send this? If we will sort of stand up and not pace, but just sort of sway a bit looking at it. The motion is helpful.
I think your significant complication is another tick on the progress clock for the doomsday clock, because as you pace, I think you see that maybe, for all its coziness, there's still some cheap paint. There's still some stained wallpaper in this place. But I think you start to see, as you pace, that what you're looking at starts to peel away very slowly, as if being removed by an invisible hand. And you start seeing secrets and prayers written in a strange and desperate language. The letters are shaky, or the glyphs are shaky, And somehow you know what this says, even though you may or may not have seen this language before in all of your time loops. I ask you, Vivi, or actually, this is a very strange paint the scene for all of you. How are the secrets here, underneath this paper and paint? How are they related to each of you? What secret is related to you that Vivi sees on the wall? It doesn't necessarily have to name you directly, but what secret, sign, symbol, story would appear underneath the cheap paper and stained wallpaper?
I think one of the prayers describes time, and it describes the passage of time along some sort of preordained path. And near the end of the sequence, there is notation for 4 additional variables. And without being able to say why for certain, Vivi knows that it is the 4 of them. They are somehow a catalyst or a necessary component of some ritual.
There is an image much like on that relic that Zero encountered. It's a face turned to the side, sleeping or dead, but like the depictions of the god Giannis, it's dual. There's another face on the other side.
I think there's a sort of crude, almost stylized image of a figure of flame clutching in one hand a decapitated head, wearing a broken, cracked crown.
I got nothing.
All
Fungus
right.
growing in between the prayers.
No. What?
Just a suggestion. Okay. Yeah, so we'll switch over to end with Zero. Zero, how can you incapacitate this victim? From the description of one of the victims, I think you know that this is Lily Bautista. She is a volunteer nurse, an activist. She's supposed to be dead. How do you incapacitate her without violence?
Without violence.
Without violence.
I think at first he's not trying to incapacitate her at all. I think when the vision fades and the pain sets in and he realizes he is being bitten, there's he gasps and tries to push her off and just tilts his head away and says, help, help, help. But he can't catch his breath. He can't get the word out. And as kind of a reflex, I think he's going to you can't hide your heart from me with her.
Nice. All right, so let's see.
He is going to deepen his senses and without even meaning to. I think it's an act of desperation,
Sure.
and
Absolutely.
I'm going to spend 2 tokens. That's an 8.
Okay. So on 8 to 10, you sense more under the surface. Ask two. One of those, two of those questions on your list.
I'm going to ask, what does Lily not realize she knows? To try and draw a line between a key and a facet. And I'm going to. What does she wish would happen? What is the goal here in attacking him?
Let's see. I think, let's take a look at the keys and the facets. I think that's actually for you. Let me see. Does it say specifically? Yeah, you can draw a line between a key and a facet and declare it an irrevocable truth about the mystery. Like this is... Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to say that the graffiti on the wall announcing both redemption and punishment is tied to the murder victims because all of them have done something that the murderer, not the race, not the Madelancholy, but these individuals
Right.
have done something that has, to the murderer, warranted their death.
Okay. Go ahead and yeah, put that graffiti on the wall and say specifically that it has to do with these particular specific victims. Yep. So yeah, each of the victims are very tied into the murderer. Yeah. Okay, cool. And then the other question was, what do you wish would happen? Okay. I think she wants to be set free. I think her milky eyes are indicating desperation of wanting to have her pain end. Again, she had said she was torn apart and then brought back, and then torn apart again and then brought back. It's like a bad cycle that she wishes to finish. And she would wish that you would help her to do this any way that you know how. What would you like to do, Zero?
He's going to hope that in that blending of their awarenesses for even a moment, that will have distracted her enough that he can tear himself free, probably literally, and run from the room or from the apartment.
Okay. I think you're going to have to power through darkness for this because you're averting imminent danger to yourself. Spend darkness tokens and roll, please.
No tokens to spend. That's a 7.
Okay. On a 7, the Keeper will offer you something connected to what the darkness demands of you. Whether or not you take it, prepare for the worst. Or you can spend a bond, which doesn't mean it's like completely like gone, but it's just spending a bond to bump it up to an 8 to 10 to at least get into the sweet spot.
Hmm. 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 No, thank you.
Okay. All right, something to what the darkness demands of you. Let's see. It is like you're tearing a hole in yourself. And in this room, or in this space of this abandoned apartment, that could be a mistake. Because the tear opens up into reality, or through reality. And in this room, this tear, this void, this space between is hovering in the air, and her struggles cease as she is almost covered over partially by this tear. And she stands stock still, and her milky white eyes are crying. And it's like she's being subsumed into this tear of reality. And it's starting to open like an eye. No pupils, no color, just a very dark black sclera staring at you from midair, essentially.
Zero will run from the room and I imagine careen into the wall across from the door and then start sprinting toward the stairs.
Okay. And I think that's where we're going to leave it for this session. I wanted to offer up the fact that you have now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 uncovered keys, one of which is already put into the facets, but again, 7 keys to cover 6 complexity. This could be the opportunity to go over it and see if you want to unlock Doom's door, start putting together the keys to the facets and come up with a theory to resolve this mystery. Or not. If you want to keep investigating, like, we can totally continue into the next session. That's up to you.
Oh, I was gonna suggest that we try to answer or not answer a question. Wrong game.
I know.
To do whatever you do in this game
yeah.
soon.
Theorize, whatever they call it.
Yeah. Because the countdown on the mystery is getting pretty close to fulfilling, and it's making me nervous.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So this would be your opportunity to theorize about how the pieces, the facets, get put together. Just a reminder that each facet just has to have at least one key. You can leave no facet unconnected. You have to put at least one key into a facet.
Remind me where we found the small and crooked shrine. What was the context for that one?
That was Vivi's dream right before we started.
Oh, yes.
In the cafeteria? Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh God, right.
But again,
God, that
contextualize however the hell you
ages
want.
ago.
I just found it funny that it was like in the cafeteria. It's great.
No, thank you. I legitimately forgot any of that happened, but it was really cool.
Yes. Oh, I'm just going to, for the recording, I'm going to review the keys. A small and crooked shrine. An infestation of insects through a small doorway on the roof garden, leaving blood and gore in their wake. A psychic vision of one of the Madelancholy pleading for their life, promising they won't tell anyone. Something darker than dark reaches into them. Graffiti on the wall announcing both redemption and punishment, which has already been attached to the murder victims facet. Specifically that the murder victims, past and future, have done something in particular to mark them for death in the murderer's estimation. which I think is a very cool way of specifying that clue, that key. An old set of rusty keys, each inscribed in Babain, an ancient writing system once used in the Philippines. An ancient and sacred Mananagal relic, defaced and broken. And a manila envelope filled with black and white photographs of different Mananagal residents, all taken with a telephoto lens. So, peace away.
I think the photographs probably line up with the murder victims, and this was someone who was working up to this, targeting specific people.
Mm-hmm.
The infestation of insects through the small doorway on the roof garden. I mean, it might be a little on the nose, but that could be the door of power, this small doorway.
How interesting then that it coming through were flesh-eating insects trailed by gore. And there's so much talk of being torn apart. Ah, shit. Is it me again? Is this Pestri's master again? This seems... doesn't have a monopoly on eating stuff.
I wonder if... I mean, the small and crooked shrine in Vivi's dream seems to suggest that there's some obviously like religious element to these murders. Perhaps the murder victims are sacrifices, and those sacrifices have to have like a specific characteristic, or like they have to have done something specific, and like that's the thing that has like marked them for death.
I think that fits well, and it also makes me wonder about sort of like if this is some sort of ritual of some kind. So if some being has seen the decline of the Mananagal and has effectively, by sacrificing certain ones, they want to empower the rest of them, try to sort of concentrate their remaining energy. And that could be like there's a defaced and broken shrine that would be repaired effectively by this, sort of rebuilding a core of power to the community. I'm gonna make this harbinger something that we want to happen.
I think it's totally cool for the Harbinger to have like a noble reason for doing something kind of terrible. So I'm down. Yeah. So that would put the small and crooked shrine. Oh, okay. So maybe this doesn't address like who the murderer is, but maybe the Harbinger is not the person who is doing the killing, but is the thing that that person wants to commune with or summon. And maybe that's like an ancient like Philippine god thing that is spoken of on that old set of rusty keys.
Oh, that's so cool.
Like
So
this god is locked away behind this door of power, maybe,
Yeah.
and these ancient keys like physically and metaphysically open that door.
Okay, so do you want to connect that to the door, or you want to connect it to the Harbinger?
Probably more harbinger than door.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's not really about where the door is.
Right.
I was
In Philippine folklore, was there a god or a deity associated with the Manananggal? I mean, I don't know. I should look this up.
I was
mean,
just thinking about how at the beginning of this we talked about what Madelancholy eat, and we decided that they had adopted a more modern uh, diet, I suppose. But what if
yes.
that's the the trespass here? This person wants the Madelancholy to be traditional, and these people were too modern. They were bucking the importance of who they were, and so they had to be punished and bring back the Madelancholy's power in doing so.
Nice. I like that.
Is Elder Uhura the one who Elder or Durha? Uhura is from Star Trek. Is she the one who locked this god away, however long
Interesting.
ago, in order to usher in this like new age of Mononogal who can assimilate and, live amongst people without trouble? That has nothing to do with any of the keys we have. This is a question I'm
No, that's
asking.
No,
interesting.
but how interesting is that? Because it can always tie back into it's like, well, now somebody else is wanting to call upon the old god or gods for the Mononogal and bring back the old days. Older than, yeah, that's pretty cool. If you want to try and incorporate that within the keys that you got. So it sounds neat. Especially with the small and crooked shrine. I mean, like, just kind of calling back to this whole, like, down to grassroots kind of thing. Um,
So then
And
maybe
that
if we're, oh, sorry.
so then that we could put the ancient and sacred relic defaced broken into the decline, where um, that was a choice that was made if to try to step away from a more violent past. There was a
yeah.
break from traditions both symbolically and literally.
Oh, nice. I like that.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm imagining this as like the corollary to like the Old Testament God. Like this is the God that was like, all right, floods, fire, like we're
I
doing
mean,
we're destroying everything. And they're like, maybe
What if
we'd
we
like a more
didn't?
peaceful. Yeah.
I mean, there's a pretty marked event in the history of the Philippines that did destroy a lot of stuff and involve the Christian God. Just pointing that out.
6.
Hmm.
Just covering one more clue. If I'm reading
See
this right.
here. Is it? Which one?
The psychic vision, I think, needs to be covered.
Uh, the We can tie that into the harbinger.
Okay.
The thing that the Mononongals are promising they won't tell is that this person, the murderer, is practicing the old diet.
Ah, nice. Ooh, very nice. Yeah, sounds good. So it works. Again, the die roll works the same way as when we're answering a question for the between, which is again matching up the complexity with the number of keys matched up to facets, and then like if you have any overage, then of course those are pluses towards your roll. So all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait, can I count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, 7 clues match to 6 complexity. So whomever is rolling will be rolling with a +1, 2d6, to see if this theory is right. Who's rolling? Brave and
Matt, I
courageous
feel like
monsters.
you really got this theory rolling. Why don't you take it?
All right.
2d6 +1, please.
And
Okay,
10.
you are right. And yes, you can go ahead and unlock Doom's door, and then you will be Theory's correct, the door is revealed. Omens may get to the door first or have the upper hand when they confront the Harbinger. It's also possible the theory is correct, but the Harbinger has already started opening the door. Since you're not quite as close to the opening of the door, I'm going to say that you can get to the door first. What we can do for the next session is we'll resolve this mystery then, and then, yeah, see how it goes. You know, thwarting the Harbinger, making sure that the door does not open. And, yeah. Okay.
I mean, letting back an old god that was, shut away and is probably real angry about it. What could go wrong?
What could go wrong? Yeah. I mean, it'll be
It's
fine.
fine.
It's absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. I will say, I'll give you another slight stinger for this. I think as you close in on Zero running away from the room, I think we go elsewhere, near the apartment building, but not within it. And there is just, again, the flutter of moth wings, and there's like a rising shape in a dark corner of a room, and a figure whispering, "I'm so close, Master. I'm so close. I almost have everything I need. I will go and find this place, and I will bring you back to your glory." And that's where we will end the session. So let's go over end of session. God knows there's a bunch of stuff that happened. So, end of session. Okay. Let me start from the other end this time. So I'm starting with the Herald. So Petri,
Okay.
end of session. Did you express your monstrous nature and or express your humanity?
Yes.
Mark 1 XP. Did you learn something significant about yourself and or your impending ruin?
No.
Okay. Did you learn something significant about a fellow monster?
Yes.
Well, Mark 1 XP. Did you uncover at least one key of the apocalypse or attempt to unlock Doom's door? So no.
Yes.
Okay, so then yes. All right, so you don't have to worry about any ruin. So that's great.
Right? I got a key, right?
Yeah. Well,
Or is that?
I mean,
that,
like
that's
you
XP,
guys
or
are
that's just not marking ruin.
right. So you're just not marking ruin. So you,
Okay.
yeah, because you guys attempted to unlock Doom's door. And then the last question is, and again, I forgot to ask. God dang it. Impulse. Do you think that you did any of your impulses today?
Yes.
Okay. Which impulse was it?
Attempting to find meaning in my relationship with another.
Okay. All right, cool. Go ahead and mark XP. Alrighty, and then... Hold on. Okay. Next one is the last. Okay, so, Vivi, did you express your monstrous nature and or express your humanity?
I don't. Well, no. Not. Wait, sort of. Yes.
Yeah.
Being real old.
Well, yeah, and I think also too, like trying to emulate humanity, like saying this to Elder Adorha. I think it's kind of like towards that particular question. Did you learn something significant about yourself and or your impending ruin?
Yes, because the harsh judgment of the elder against humanity, I think, is surprising and not great for Vivi.
Yeah.
Vivi is trying to see the best in people, and that was a harsh
Yeah.
harsh judgment.
Right. Mark 1 XP. Did you learn something significant about a fellow monster?
I did not.
Okay. Did you uncover at least one? Okay, you attempted to unlock Doom's door, so you don't have to mark ruin. Yay! And then what impulse do you think that you embodied today?
Did you share a story of your people and what you lost? I mean, kind of. I was sort of going towards it. I didn't want to end up monologuing for a whole long time, though, so I kind of was light on it, but it'll happen at some point, I'm sure.
It's fine. If you think you've hinted enough at it, then you can take that point. All right. So next. Alrighty. 0. Did you express your monstrous nature and/or express your humanity?
I think he expressed a bit of humanity and screaming for help, being too scared to even.
Oh, yes, yes. Did you learn something significant about yourself and/or your impending ruin? Oh, hell yes, sir. Mark 1 XP, please. Did you learn something significant about a fellow monster?
I don't think so.
Okay. Did you unlock Doom's door, so no ruin mark, thank goodness. And then what impulse do you think you embodied today?
I chose acting in a way that contradicts what Zero knows of his past self, and I don't think I hit that.
Okay. Alrighty. And Wisp. Did you express your monstrous nature and/or express your humanity?
Yeah, I think I did both.
Yeah. Mark 1 XP, please. Did you learn something significant about yourself and/or your impending ruin?
Did I?
I don't know if you consider it learning, because you were talking deep with Petri. I mean, I feel like you guys were showing each other's harbingers. I mean, it's like no.
Yeah.
Maybe in that moment where Wisp became part of the collective, and also
Oh,
Petri seems to think that there's something in her future that is worth maybe not burning everything down for, which is not a thought that she had before.
right.
So
Although it's strange in a weird way because you're both resonating harbingers with each other, and I'm like, oh my god, wow. So 1 XP for that, for sure. Did you learn something significant about a fellow monster? Oh hell yeah. 1 XP, please. Everybody attempted to unlock Doom's door, so no ruin marked. And then what impulse do you think you embodied today?
I chose, did you entangle another monster with your prophecy? Um, it's not that I got Petri on board with my fast track to ruin, but
If you would describe it, if I had to pick a word for what happened, I would say entangle is a fair one.
I would take
cool.
it. I would totally take it. Okay, so.
Swore to protect you no matter what,
Oh
I
my
believe
god.
the move said,
Oh my
True,
god.
true.
which is at minimum a fey bargain.
Oh god. I just thought of that. Yeah. Wow. A lot of ruin going on in there. Okay. So, given that, stars and wishes, holy crap. Amazing. Awesome stuff. Star for these deep ass conversations that sometimes I can follow and sometimes I'm like, I'm gonna have to rewatch this just to process. So stars for that, and Zero, I think again, you're coming up as like, this deeply strange and mysterious and surreal, but yet so damn human with the running away and the whole, crying feebly for help, and you had to help yourself in whatever way you knew how. So I mean, like that whole scene in the apartment was awesome. Vivi, you were talking with Elder Durha and trying to get a handle on, I guess it would be disdain for humanity, while you're also trying to emulate them yourself or be as close to human as you can. I think it's an interesting thought that Vivi has to, or had to encounter that at this juncture. So I'd be interested to see what this means. But star for that conversation. And Petri, always just the strangeness coming through the multiverse, collective, whichever the hell or combo of either it is. It just always comes out very heartfelt, even though it's the strangest line of thinking, I think, out of all of them, out of all of the omens. So star for that. And yeah, I mean, Wisp, just the whole connections that you're making with trying to, I guess, fulfill your prophecy or not fulfill your prophecy, but trying to see where you can help and maybe sinking into it more. But then also, like, you know, the connections that you're making with your fellow omens is always fascinating. And the fact that it was Petri this time was even more interesting because it was the book that they swallowed and then now admitted that they read it. Oh shit. I'll be interested to see what those connections look like for later on, so we'll see. And I think I covered everything I wanted to cover, even though it sounded very general. I'm sorry, but I mean, those are the things that I'm trying to remember out of all my notes. So, take it away, and somebody else.
I'm happy to go. Chris, kicking us off with, well, I'm from Modesto was a lovely, little bit of just juxtaposition of weirdness with normalcy, and I quite like that. Elle, fire is all I have, and that entire conversation with Petri was really good. That was a lovely little scene, and I thought it did really a lot for both of you. Mads, you seemed unsure about the paint the scene with the wall prayers, but that was super interesting, and I really liked it. So thank you for that one. That was an interesting way to bring everything in to that. And Ben, when Zero screamed, I screamed. It was so good. It was just so human, and like I was expecting like tough dream powers, and it's like, no, scream and run away. Like, it was good. It was very good. Wishes. I am looking forward to the resolution of this mystery because I think it's real interesting. Let's go. More game. Woo. Ben.
Okay.
Or Chris, go. There we go.
I can go next, unless you have a wish lined up.
Nope.
Okay. Things that have not been mentioned. Ben, I loved that description of the idol that had been that was like your top half and their top half fused together, both of you half asleep as if in dream. That was just such a wonderful image. Stars to Elle, obviously, for everything that has been mentioned, but also for just like really embodying the 20-something like anarchist revolutionary. Really being fully committed to a course of action without a single thought in your head. And I was so here for it. Vivi, a lot of good stuff this session, but the thing I have written down is the Mary Poppins wall slide at the beginning of the session. It was just such a perfect little, like, just barely weird unless you really think about it thing. It was such a perfect character moment. And Mads, as always, thank you for rolling with all this weird shit. And I especially liked how you portrayed Ujara, which whatever the
the elders.
the elder
Or Durha, yeah.
Udurha. Thank you. there was, I don't know, there was an air of like bemusement to it that I really appreciated. Like the Elder is taking this apocalypse about as seriously as we are, which is to say, kinda.
Yeah, I can go next. Yeah, I second. One of my stars was definitely your portrayal of the Elder, Mads. Um, she was really fascinating. Even though my character wanted to punch her and probably would have if she weren't an old lady. And aside from that, I really enjoyed playing out the scene with Petri. Um, I always find Petri very unpredictable. I'm always surprised by their perspective on things. It's very fun to see. Um, I really enjoyed everyone's paint the scenes or like responses to the paint the scene prompts this session. But I also really like the theory that we all came up with together. I think it's like an interesting theory in itself, but I also really like the way it subtly reflects a lot of the themes that our characters are dealing with at the moment. Um, so yeah, I'm excited to see what the resolution is going to look like. And for wishes, I got an advanced session I'm excited to use, but I probably won't use it until our next mystery because I think it will make more sense after we get back to division and have some scenes there. But yeah, aside from that, I don't know. I'm excited to see what's next.
As has been previously mentioned, Matt, your Vivi, one hand against the wall, sliding down like gravity, is not as strong. Was really good. Just a perfect, weird, surreal, and totally Vivi way of getting down from height. Chris, when you were describing Petri and you said that they were first a gardener, and that was a nice little moment and a tie-in, and I thought it was perfect. And the scene between Petri and Elle, the hurt that you put into everything that Wisp was saying, and but also the kind of hope. It was really real good. Mads, I thought that it was fun. The Elder was really great, and I'm a little sad that Zero's in his sulky loner teenager phase, because it would have been good to have him interact with her. I imagine that could have gone very poorly for him. But also the paint the scene questions, all of them were so good, and just the way that you sold the Mononongal zombie spirit something was really creepy, really good, and I'm looking forward to seeing how we wrap this all up.
Definitely. And I will say that one of the victims returning, but they're changed, is one of the clock ticks, the doomsday clock ticks. So, I mean, I thought that was so interesting, and it just deserved its own like moment. And I'm very glad that you're the one that ran into it, because it just made sense in the abandoned apartment. I mean, like, that is a creepy ass place. I mean, like, and I loved, again, like, you guys did always so great with the paint the scene questions on it, but definitely the apartment is fucking creepy, so I love it. um Besides resolving the mystery next time, then we'll do the downtime stuff, which is like, back at division, it's like, debrief and whatever. And you know what, I'm like, I totally forgot about, so this wish is a regret, and I'm I don't know how this is gonna happen, but I think Cobb came with you guys. I had not had a chance to, insert Cobb in here in any place. It's just, like, it's so sad, because, Cobb's fun. But
You saw him gambling somewhere.
possibly, yeah.
He's watching wrestling.
That's true. That's true. There's probably like a contingent that he found of like locals that are into wrestling. So now he's just like kind of sitting back, relaxing, going, all right, all right.
Barb and Joey
Yeah.
were chasing us through the hallways of the building, and we're just past an open door, and there's a car with a bunch of Madelancholy with like a bunch of beers on the table watching WWE.
Oh, absolutely. And having adobo and having the time of his life for sure. Absolutely. Yeah. So, black meat scented candles now available from Yankee. You don't know, all right? Somebody's gonna discover it and somebody gonna make it. So if it ain't Yankee, it's gonna be some other candle company, I'm sure. Find it on
Oh,
Etsy.
it's out there.
Oh yeah, it's probably on Etsy already. So, oh man. Okay, cool.
Right.
Yeah. So if there's nothing else, then I will see you guys for next Monday, and we'll see how this turns out. I can't wait. Happy gaming in the meantime, if I don't see you for something else, and yeah, have a great week. All right. So, thank you guys very much. All righty.
Yeah.
Thank you.
See you
Bye.
when I
Thank you
see
very
you.
much.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.